Right, guys, Queen Elizabeth. I just started a reading and I got flustered on all the information I wrote down. It was in the wrong order. So I was just describing something to you all and then I had to stop the recording, which is really frustrating, but I'm going to try again. It was definitely harder to connect to this one because it's the Queen, the Queen's energy. It's almost like obviously you feel I'm not worthy to connect to somebody like that. So I just thought, okay, I'm just going to be open to what happens the next couple of days. And there was information coming through to me. And then I thought, okay, I'm just going to speak to my guides and go for your questions. And if the information, the channeled information comes out, then I'll write it down for you and give it to you guys basically over the questions you've got. And I did get quite a bit of info. So this is what we're going to go over now. Now, before I messed up this reading previously, I pulled a card because, I always like you to have something to look at, okay? So this is actually quite emotional because the words that came up were bereft, okay? So it's almost like she's in the crossroads right now. This card means she's looking back at the past and not fully ready to move over in a way to the positives in her life. So don't get me wrong, her loved ones are around her, but she's still not ready to completely cross over. I'm hearing she's at the gate still. And that usually happens if people pass over, they hang around for a while to make sure the family are okay. And I feel a lot of this is actually mainly Charles, that he's so bereft, because I kept picking up the word bereft, that she's so concerned about him. Sometimes when we grieve deeply, because I know I did for like 8 solid years over my dad, I didn't see a counsellor and I should have. I was 19, I was too young. My real strong emotion in a way was tying him back towards me, pulling his energy towards me because I was so devastated and distraught. So it's almost like that same feeling where her loved ones, the grief, she's around and she's looking down and she feels sadness about it. But don't worry, guys, she's not stuck in limbo or anything like that. It's almost like this is her choice right now to stay and just make sure people are okay. I keep hearing Charles, bereft. So she's very concerned about him. And this is the card I picked out the whole pile. It wasn't the one I really wanted because obviously we want to think, yep, she's absolutely fine, passed over, completely happy. So it's more of concern. She just wants to, she's not going to just leave her family behind because she crosses over, okay? She's still around looking out for them. So this is what this card symbolizes, which is really, it's quite deep, to be honest, when I pulled this card. Right, let's try again. Here we go. Right, here's some of the questions. And don't worry, I will do a part 2, okay? So if you go onto the community tab on my YouTube channel after this reading, I'm going to let you write all the questions down you have for her, and I will try another reading after as well. So here we go. Let me have a glass of water. What did she feel were her greatest accomplishments? And the information that came through was to serve her people wholeheartedly, and then I got the words till death do us part, just like she declared at the very start of her reign. Okay, that was one part of it. Then we had another question. What did she think of her funeral? Sorry. If you wonder why I'm laughing, you'll see, because it's her sense of humour, to be honest. Considering, that's why I giggled a bit, because she said considering it's a funeral, everything she wanted it to be, a good send-off. And then I had the words, sorry for the words dry wit. And that sort of made me laugh when she said that, sorry for my dry wit, because she said considering. So she's got a good sense of humour, to be honest, okay? The family, the family, and the words were held up, was the word that came through, held up okay, and she was very proud. In a way, it was like her final duty, so that her people could also try and accept the loss, and the words were let her go. So it's a farewell, but it's also trying to remember her accomplishments as well. It's almost like it's sadness, but also trying to remember. I mean, she put her life on the line for everybody, basically, for her whole life. She just, it's a lot. I can't imagine anyone else being in the monarchy for that long, just for their people. It's a lot. But that's what came through about the funeral. So she has got a funny sense of humour, honestly. She does actually definitely have dry wit here. Okay, next question was, how does she think Prince Charles will do as king? All right. Whew. She is anxious about his moods and an emotional state after she passed, as he is deep in mourning and will be for quite some time. But the words I got were life goes on, and he has been trained well for this. Now, this is separate information, guys, but there's a sense here too that it's almost like he waited for this role for his whole life. And now the moment has actually come. He wishes to, I get the word, step back, almost to how it was a few weeks ago before she passed, because he's so distraught by her passing. And I hear he still had words unsaid. So even though she was frail, there were still things he wanted to say to her that he thought he would have time to say to her, and he didn't. So I feel this words unsaid, deeply rooted, I'm hearing. So something like that is probably something he's carried around, maybe some resentment over some things for years. I'm hearing 40 years, so don't know where he was 40 years ago, but there's things he held on for too long. And now he has more understanding about why she acted the way she did, and he understands it. And it's almost like he wanted to get that across to her. He understands, but he didn't have time to say it all. And I feel like that's why I keep hearing words unsaid about that situation. Okay, and to let you know, if anyone loved one passes, they can still hear you. Okay, so if anyone worries about words unsaid, you can actually talk and they can hear you. Okay, right, I'm getting a bit emotional now. Okay, how does she feel about the Meghan and Harry situation? Oh, my favourite topic, not. Because it's always so controversial. So, this is interesting. She says she wished it had been, the words were, reined in before it really got out of hand. She underestimated how, the words were, deeply affected he was, and she wished she took it more seriously at the time. And it's almost like they brushed it off. So the things he was coming up and saying, they brushed it off, okay? They didn't know it would be a runaway train, were the words, by the way. So she wished she took it more seriously at the time, rather than the stiff upper lip tradition often bestowed upon members of the royal family. And again, it was like a runaway train, and once it got started, it was impossible to stop. And she felt deeply saddened by it. Now, here's more information about that. It was so important to her, by the way, that they are family through and through. And this is what she tried to impress upon them in her last few months, okay? That loyalty to family is above all so important, as they are already challenged enough, I heard, as it is seen as not needed in today's society. It's in the monarchy, is seen as not needed by people. And not everyone, obviously, because you saw the funeral, how many hundreds of thousands were there. But in today's day and age, she wanted both the brothers to be, I heard, strong and united, and to carry the monarchy forward. And she worries this is all on Charles's shoulders, were the words I heard, Charles's shoulders, and wants to bring them together again. Not as working royals, okay? They made their choice and she's accepted it, but as brothers. And that's what the information came through the last few days when they were walking together at the funeral, okay? No matter what we think of them, okay, or how we perceive the situation, she just wanted her family to come back together. It's a family, for God's sake. She just wanted her family to come back together. That's what was really on her mind at the end, you know? Okay. What was her relationship with Diana really like? I got the words hit and miss. So the Queen got on with things. Diana dwelled on them, were the words I heard. So the Queen got on with things, Diana dwelled on them. She tried to understand it, but it's like it's happening all over again, a break in the family, a divide. And I heard the words second time round. So it's almost like with Charles and Diana, the way they were separated, it's almost like she felt the same when William and Harry had this divide. Because she's like, it's second time around. And again, the Queen does not want, I'm hearing, a great divide. She didn't want that. Right. What was the greatest challenges she witnessed in her reign? One of the key words I got here was apartheid, obviously South Africa, okay? And then we also had, the very last question I have here was future of the monarchy, okay? How does she feel about future of the monarchy? Now, William has strong shoulders, were the word, and Kate is his backbone, meaning together they are, and the words were, a very strong unit. Now, when I mean backbone, I don't mean William doesn't have a backbone. I mean, he needs somebody strong behind him as well, because he's in such a pivotal role. I mean, for God's sake, he's going to be a king at some point. He needs a strong woman behind him, to be honest. You know, that's what the kind of sense she's saying. They have a mixture of decorum. This is so embarrassing, guys. I even had to Google the word decorum because I thought it meant, I kind of knew it meant manners, but I didn't know the exact meaning. So when I heard the word decorum, okay, I had to Google it. But they have the mix of decorum and the ability to connect emotionally. And I heard the words like his mother, which is actually really touching, that last line. So, that is the information that has come through, okay? Now, I'm just going to do one tarot question quickly because I do want to know how she feels about Charles. I'm not sure how well it's going to do with the tarot reading because I still can't believe I'm trying to connect to her energy, to be honest. It's like if I'm not fully in with it, it's harder. But let's just see. Okay, so please guide us here. Guide, step in, please. Please energy, please energy, come through. Please energy, come through. Okay, I want to know how she feels about Charles looking down now because I'm anxious about him. I am. How does she feel about his energy? How does she feel about his energy looking down now? How does she feel about his energy looking down now? Oh, I do feel that's the bereavement there. Oh, sending love. I'm not happy about that card there, though. Okay. First of all, this is definitely the grieving process I feel here. It's the Page of Swords, which means very, very slow going. Very, very slow going. So it's almost like his energy, when she looks at him, she's worried about how long it's going to take. I'm hearing to pick up the reins, by the way, and I feel that means the monarchy, pick up the reins. So he may be okay on the surface and doing these, you know, meetings and greetings and traveling around the country and stuff, but inside I keep hearing the word bereft. So she's worried about the healing process with him. Now this is so sweet because when I got this about how she feels, the Page of Cups is the love messenger card. So it's literally her sending messages of love towards him to let him kind of know she's still there. But then this concerned me actually, because let's just pull one more card for this. This is something to do with money and stability. I do wonder if something's going to come up about money that he may have taken or been given. Now, I know there was this thing about Dubai and taking $1 million from somebody before, but there's something coming in here, almost like lies and deceit. I'm hearing dirty money. The Six of Pentacles means being given wealth or money here, okay? And then it's almost like there was an opportunity as well. And it's almost like all the hard work and the money paying off, being given the money, but lies and deceit. And I feel they're going to try and have something in the papers where they're going to look back at some money he's been given from somebody, and I'm hearing dirty money. So she is worried about, I don't feel that £1 million he took previously is the only thing that's going to come up. It's the only thing that's going to come up. So it's just something about giving money to him and sadness and heartache over this. So I have no idea what that's about, guys, honestly. I mean, that's so odd. There's a gift, a financial gift, a settlement. What would a settlement be? What kind of settlement would it be? Being given money, some kind of settlement, lies and deceit around it. It's going to be dirty money and there's going to be sadness around this. So that's really odd cards I'm getting there. Star, wish come true. Almost like it's a wish come true, but it's not going to be good. I'm going to leave it there. I wouldn't mind Googling this now and looking into this, guys, and actually seeing if there's any other things coming up. All I know is there was $1 million a while back that he was given, that he said that's not going to ever happen again. But I feel there's something that's already been done that's going to come up in the future, dragging him down, that he's got to answer for. And the media are going to have a field day. So I don't know, but I do feel it's almost like some money he's been given or some crazy expensive gift that's got bad links to it. And that's going to come up. And that is all I've got right now. It won't change anything, guys. It's not going to change the monarchy. It doesn't mean he's going to have to abdicate or anything like that because of this. It's almost like she's just aware. Where's the money come from? I don't know. Anyway, I am off, okay? More than happy to do a part 2. I will do I will write it in my community now, okay? And you can just write down your question, guys, and I'll do a part 2. Hope you enjoyed it, and love you lot, and speak to you soon. Bye, guys.